guys, Adam here, CarsGeo72. I'm on my way to VIR. It's end of October, so just before Halloween, and I'm going for 4 days. And so the first 2 days, Thursday, Friday, so tomorrow, Friday, are with the group called Track Days. And the reason I'm doing Track Days this year, usually I just do the Audi Club, the Potomac Chesapeake Audi Club's season closer finale. HPDE at VIR. It's usually the first weekend in November. Done it every year. This will be my 5th time. I wanted to do this back-to-back deal because Track Days runs day 1 on the Grand Course, and I've always wanted to try the Grand Course. The Grand Course really is, it's the full course VIR layout minus one little bit of the back straight with a lollipop that connects back through the infield. So it's, I think it adds like a mile. So it's over 4 miles, which is long, and it's the one that Car and Driver uses every year for the Lightning Lap, where they take all the new hot cars and they drive them on the Grand Course because it's a little, it helps reduce the, VIR is a power fast car course because it has really long, big straights. So if you have a really fast, like high power muscle car or whatever kind of car, you know, usually your lap times reflected because you can go really, even if you're slow as dirt in the turns, you're going to have fast lap times when you have 2 big, really 3 big straights. So the Grand Course breaks it up a little bit with this twisty infield. So I'm going to do the Grand Course tomorrow. That should be fun. So I'm on my way down. I take Highway 360 from Midlothian, where I live, Virginia, outside of Richmond, down to VIR near between South Boston and Danville, and that takes me, it's like 2 hours and 10 minutes. I usually stop at the Sheets in South Boston to top off with fuel and hit the head and get a candy bar or something, and then go to the track. There'll be check-in tonight after 5:30, so I always stay on site. I've just, for the couple times a year I go, the little bit of extra money to have a garage and a room there at VIR is totally worth it from a stress level. You just show up, I can go into my garage, I can change my wheels and tires and unload my car, and I'm ready for tech and then reg, and then I'm done. Like, I can just go back and chill out. I have a room right there. I stay in the pit lane rooms, which are right above the garages, which are the same as the lodge. I've stayed there too, which is kind of more like a multi-level hotel at VIR. I've stayed at Airbnbs before. There's one right outside the gate. It's like 2 miles from VIR in the little town in North Carolina called Milton. And it's actually a really nice little Airbnb, and there's a little pizza joint right there. So it's a tiny little town. I think there's even a gas station. But if not, you stay in Danville. It's only like 15 minutes. So, yeah, I mean, you can see if I pull my phone out. Hold on. Yeah, you can see how much crap is in my car. It's fully loaded. I'm riding kind of low. Yeah, so should be a fun time. I've got a little grill. Like, I bring a propane grill to set up outside the garage so I can make, you know, burgers and dogs and stuff. Because the food, you know, food situation there at VIR is just typical track. It's like a snack bar. That's okay, and it's just kind of expensive. And there's actually a little restaurant right there that's open most of the time called the Tavern at VIR. I actually like to go and sit in the bar, have a couple beers and maybe a burger one night while I'm there. So I'll hit the Tavern maybe tonight, and then the rest of it I'll try to, I just eat snack food and whatever I can get by with a grill and a microwave in my room. Bring a coffee maker for the garage, so should be fun. Hopefully everything I've got will last for the 4 days. My tires, I don't think I'll cord them. I think they're going to be fine for the 4, but they'll be probably getting to the point of starting to talk about replacing them next year after this. I've got brand new front and rear brake pads, the EBC pads I use. I'm pretty sure I can go the 4 days on them fronts, but 3, I don't know. It depends on how much I drive, and you know, when you say days, how many hours is each day? The way Track Days works. So I'm in the like intermediate group. I had probably run the advanced group too. The groupings are really not based on how fast you are. They're based on how experienced you are in terms of the track flags, getting people by you, passing. At this point, I've been doing this long enough, I can probably run in the advanced group with that. But it's a new club in the Grand Course I've never done, so I'll just run intermediate. I've got a couple buddies come in. We're splitting. We've got garages beside each other, so we will. We're just going to stay in the same group so we can have fun together. So we do intermediate. which is like point by everywhere. It's passed by point by anywhere you want. I lost my train of thought. Oh, we're talking about brake pads and stuff. So I think you get like 3 30-minute sessions a day for the track days group, and then a 2-hour session at the end of open track. And that's, I think, all the groups except beginners. So it's going to be your instructor group, which is like no point by group, your advanced group, and then your intermediate group. The novice group doesn't get to go out because they're not solo. They have instructors with them. So you get a lot of track time with track days. But I'm not, driving like that is very tiring, and so I'll probably go do the couple 30 minutes, maybe take off one, and then do the longer session at the end, maybe 45 minutes or something. I don't know. We'll see how I'm feeling. But I'm pretty sure I can go at least 3 days on these pads there, maybe 4. Stretch them. The rear is fine. They're good for all 4. But I have stuff with me to change brake pads. My rotors are starting to go. My rotor rings, my slots are starting to disappear, which I measured them. I'm not at the minimum yet, but I'm getting there. So my guess is after this event, I'll be ready for rotors next year. I'm thinking I'm going to see these APR rotors. I might try to see if APR will sell me a set of hats, or just a set of rotors and hats, so I can actually just have 2 complete sets of 2-piece rotors, and then you just swap them out, because even if these are worn to the minimum thickness, which these are 34 mil rotors, most rotors, most stuff is 2 mil. So if it's a 34 rotor, it's ready to go with 32 mil. My back little 272 by 10 solids, I had 8, which you're never gonna. The rear rotors are fine; they'll last forever. But even if these are worn to the minimum, I would use them on the street without hesitation. These are huge rotors, so you've got to remember, anything that's got an engineering spec on it, it isn't at the limit. 32 doesn't mean you die at 32. It means 32 is when to start thinking about changing them, and you can probably go another mil or so. But you don't want to crack your rotors and things. So anyway, going to do that maybe next year. I'm also looking into maybe getting some custom rings made by Coleman Racing. Send them all your specs, and just because the APR rotor rings are a fortune. They're 350 by 34. They're like $1,000. It's insane. So I think I could get the Colemans for several hundred less. So anyway, just some rotor talk. But I should be good for this event for the car, hopefully. Oh, and one other thing. So I'm doing the Track Days event, which is cool. And then after, I'm staying for the Audi Club event, the one I've done now will be my 5th time. I really like the club. It's just a good vibe, and I've always had fun. It was my first club, that event that I did. And so I've been a member of that club since then. And it's a good group. It's cool. They have a banquet and raffle on Saturday. A lot of clubs don't do social stuff at the track. Audi Club does. There's a banquet facility above kind of the TMI Racing Pagoda snack bar bathroom thing over near the Winner's Circle and all that in the North Paddock, so where you stay and everything's based out of. So it's a pretty nice banquet facility, actually. I mean, it's a racetrack, so it's not going to be a bit so fancy, but I really like it. It's, you pay for it ahead of time, get a ticket. It's a buffet meal that's decent, and you get a couple free drinks at the bar. And it's always fun to have drinks and hang out with guys at the track, or girls, whatever. Talk about the day on the track. And then they have a really fun raffle, so I usually throw 20 bucks in. You might win some random stuff. Anyway, it's always a good time. So Audi Club event's fun. Now, I will say the one controversial part of the Audi Club, and I don't understand, it's not controversial, it's people that don't like change. So they do point buys different than every other club. So if you don't know what a point buy is, when you're on the track and you've got a guy behind you or girl behind you that's faster than you, you get them by you by telling them what side to pass you on. And you physically stick your hand out the window or over the car and tell them right or left side. And that tells them to go around, and you usually back off a little bit, and you make the pass happen. Because remember, passing is, once you've given that point by, you've made a deal with the person behind you that you're going to get the pass done. And a lot of people are fucking stupid, and they've got their Corvette on the straight, and they don't know what they're doing, and they're slow, but they're fast on the straight at VIR especially. You come around Oak Tree ready to get the pass from the guy you've been tailing for the last half of the track through the S's and everything in his vet. He points you by and floors it, so you can't pass him. So you got to remember, when you're doing passing, when you put your arm out the window, back off, get the car that's behind you around you. Even if you can ride their butt a little bit on the straight, it doesn't matter. They're going to get away from you. They're faster than you. Anyway, so the point buys with the Audi Club, you use your turn signal. So the turn signal becomes like your arm. If you do a left turn signal, pass me on the left. If you do a right turn signal, pass me on the right. It's a similar setup to what they do in Europe. And what you'll see if you watch Nürburgring videos, except they do it the opposite way. If I want you to go by me on my left, I would signal right saying, I see you, I'm going over to the right to let you by on the left, which is incredibly confusing to me. I think the way the Audi Club does it is better. Basically, it takes the place of your hand out the window. And it's got a lot of advantages. You can ride with your windows up. Most clubs you can't do that. So if it's raining, you can have your windows up. If it's cold, you can have the windows up and the heat on. If it's hot, if you wanted to, you could run the AC. It's kind of cool. A lot of people really get hung up on that though and think it's unsafe. I don't understand how. I mean, if you wreck your car, buddy, the window is the least thing that's going to keep you from being saved. They're just going to break the window and get you out, just like they do every day all over this country when people get in car wrecks and have to extract you. It's really not that big of a deal, but it's made out to be. Other clubs always kind of lose their mind. Oh, the Audi Club, they use the windows up and the point buys with the signals. I don't know. I've never had a problem with it. It was also the first club I did HPDE with, so it's kind of just how I was introduced to it. And I remember when I first did a club where you had to do the arms out, I go, this is fucking stupid. You're hanging your arm out the window going 100 miles an hour. But I will say, the point buy out the window is deliberate. You're not going to accidentally point people by that way. With the turn signal, there are instances where maybe you bump it or you forget to turn it off, but I've never heard of this being an issue. So anyway, they do the turn signal point buys. I don't have a problem with it. Whatever. It's just a different way to do HPDE. And it has some advantages. Again, you have both hands on the wheel. You don't have to take your hand off the wheel. You just have to click the signal and that's it. Anyway, so that's it. I'm almost down to Route 58. I'll hit the sheets, top off, and mosey over to VIR, get checked in for track day, set up my area in the garage, get the car sorted out, and have some fun. I'll make a video probably on the way home, and of course I'll have some track videos of the grand course and maybe the full course. I usually always just make one video of a PR or PB lap. Hopefully I can get some lap time knocked off. We'll see. I'm usually pretty conservative. I take try to work a little bit at every time I go. I'm not trying to go balls to the wall because I got to drive my car home. So, and I've got the Catalyst, which is really helpful. And now I feel like I've used the Catalyst enough now. I used it in May with the Tidewater group, Tidewater Sports Car Club at VIR for 3 days. I used it at Shenandoah for Festivus a few weeks ago. So I think I can really glean a lot from the Catalyst now, and hopefully I can use it to maybe get down. My fastest around VIR is a 216. I think I can get that down to maybe a 214. We'll see. I mean, I think my ideal time last time I was at VIR was a 214. So with cooler temperatures in the mornings, I should be able to, if I can get a clean lap, I should be able to get that time because the car will be faster on the straights. Even if I drove exactly the same laps I did in May, I should be significantly have higher maximum speeds on the straights with more power and should be able to knock my time down. But, you know, you're always working on that kind of stuff. All right, that's enough of my rambling. I will talk to you guys on the way home. Peace.